Hey everyone, what is cracking? Mellowlink here. I just wanted to make a nerf and buffed wish list. Now obviously it is a wish list, so if things seem crazy, that's the whole point of a wish list. And I'm also only going to put in around 10-15 characters because those are the ones I'm using at the moment. There's no point in me commenting on how to make Alyssa better or what a chainsaws do or anything like that because I don't use it. So basically, yeah, this is just about the characters that I use. I'm not going to go too crazy or too into detail, just what I think little changes would make the characters a bit better or what needs to be nerfed. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with Dragunov first, right? So basically the only thing I want them to change about him, because I know this has been nerfed and they're not going to go back to how it was, I think the only thing about him that I want to change is his other lows. So see this, down 3, amazing range, right? And down 4, amazing range for both of them. Both of these, minus 15 and minus 16. So all I want to see changed, just make them minus 14, that's all. I mean, like, what's so bad about that? For 13 damage, make them minus 14. Kazuya and Josie still punish it, launch punish it, you know. Even if you got godlike execution, any Mishimas can electric from doing it. Oh, maybe that's only Kazuya, I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, minus 14, you can get a very decent punish. Just for little things like this, I don't think it should be minus 15 and minus 16. It could be because they got extensions. But still, I mean, just for a little poke, shouldn't be minus 15, minus 16. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the state of drag, because down 2 to me is not really a nerf. You can still sidestep it if people want to jab or interrupt you, or even you can do shoulder because it's high crush, obviously a lot more risky. But yeah, down 2 not really a nerf, so that's the only things I want to change about Dragunov. Next one that I'm going to go to is Bryan. Yeah, so I only have a few little tier list changes that I want to do. Bryan's, all I got is 2 gripes. He's 4-3. It's actually negative 12. I know people are going to say when you commit to it, that's the risk you take. And you can still convert off his magic 4 on its own. Yeah, so you can still convert off it normally, but I mean, 4-3, they should just be minus 9, I think. Aside from that, he has this little glitch that when you sidestep somebody and do down forward 2, the 2 will miss. So at some angles it misses, and I mean that's launch punishable. So someone who's actually on the ball, they're gonna fucking launch punish you for that, sure. I won't go into this one because it's only one thing. Heihachi, obviously he's already top tier and people complain about him that, you know, he's unbeatable. The only thing I want to change about him is when you do his low trip combos, anything that has crash dash 4 in it, that starts it off, he should be able to connect electrics to it. Just for style points, you know, nothing to change the neutral or anything like that. So that's the only change I want for him. Next up we'll go to Marduk. So I only have 2 nerfs for him because he is pretty crazy right now, and I'm sure everyone would understand the 2 changes I've got, and that is, so this one not so much. He's down back 4. You guys know it does this animation if you get a clean hit, which is totally fine, nothing wrong with that at all. I just think if you miss it like this, you shouldn't get the get up 3, guaranteed. There's no need for that, I reckon. Secondly, I just want to change, I think they should change that damage. I mean, look at that. That is fucked. If you do this, that's just, I mean, come on. That's just too far. 87 damage for them guessing wrong. So even if they don't guess wrong, look at that. I think it should be nerfed damage on that. Alright, so next up we have Steve. Now, a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Steve. I probably need a bit more time versing him to work out exactly what I want changed. But as for now, the only thing I've picked up versing Steve's is this shit. I mean, if you know someone's going to do a back one as a panic move, you should be able to punish it. Like, when it should just recover less, it should recover slower on whiff. So, like this, people just do shit like this. Or, but in the open. So they'll do it like over here. And, you know, obviously, yeah, it's your fault for going in. But I think that if you know they're going to do it, you should be able to launch punish them before they get it out. I know there's probably a lot more problems with Steve, but I don't actually know what it is he's doing yet that's that strong. I know he just has a lot of strong tools in his stances and all that stuff, but yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. Geese. The only thing I want to say about Geese is I personally don't have any problem with Geese, except for his dick jab connecting combos. I know everyone complains about that. I also think that's a bit OP, but aside from that, I actually don't think there's any other options that I really complain about or that I think's too strong. So that's probably an unpopular opinion. Jin, I mean, we all know he's the best character in the game, let's face it. The only thing I would change about him, I know it's already bad on whiff, but forward 4, maybe make it more frames on recovery. I don't know what else I'd do to change him, but I kind of like that he's the strongest in the game and where he is right now. Because I think he's strong and he's got every tool, but I don't think he's OP. Like when I fight against him, I don't think this guy's cheap or anything like that. So I'm happy for him to change like that. Hall, I want to, personally, I wish his quarter circle forward 3 was +1 instead of 0, just to get a little bit of plus frames going. It's a great range low already at high crushes, but I just think he could do with you know, just a little bit of plus frames, and even so, even if it's +1 on that, you only get jabs. Like, it's not like he gets anything crazy. It'll trade with a magic 4. So that, on top of that, I think only forward 1+2 I wanted that to be to guarantee down forward 1 straight after. Oh, not guarantee, so +4. Whatever it is now needs to be 1 frame more, so you can at least get this, because then there's a mind game that even if they do this after, you can still duck it. So it's not OP. And it's just a sick punch, like, come on. That's got to be +4. Okay. King, the only thing I want to change about King is his raise drive should be 3 frames faster. I don't know if you guys ever experienced it as playing King, but, you know, raise drive is supposed to be a good move to use in rage, you know, to stop the opponent's offense if they're just pressing all the time, and 20 frames just doesn't cut it. I reckon it should be 3 frames quicker. Kazuya, I have a few things I want to change about him. Now, a lot of people say that he's already OP because, like, with godlike execution, he's, you know, he's electric, he's got his, you know, ball standing 2, and, you know, he's just hard to stop. But there's a few things I want to change about him, and of course it is a wish list. So, first of all, this, down 12, it does high crush, it is a counter hit launch. I think it should be -13. So that won't really change anything too drastically. It's already -14, but I think it should be -13. He's down forward 4 and he's down forward 1. Now, this is probably what stops him from being OP, but these are -9. So literally you do this and your turn's over, or this. All I want is -6 to -7. That's it. He doesn't have to make it -1 so you can go like this and then sidestep electric or anything. But I want it to, obviously in a dream world, I want it to work like he's while standing 4. But that's fine. Down forward 4, -9 and -1. It just stops his mid onslaught. Can't do anything after it really, but so yeah, I just want him to change it a little bit, just by a few frames. He's full crash down forward 3+4. I mean, this is another sick option out of Wave Dash that you never see anyone use, and personally I don't use it because it's negative 11. Like, why am I going to use that one if it's going to get punished, you know? I know it does high crush, but people are expecting something like, you know, a 50-50 out of Wave Dash. So, you know, one of these or one of these. If I'm going to do this one and all I get after it is a forward 4, I just want it to be negative 10. Not safe, like, so you can still dick jab punish it, just like Bryan's Smack Punch. But, I don't know, like, a lot of people have some pretty meaty 11 frame punishes. You know, Kazumi and even the Mishimas, so yeah, it's not really worth it at the moment. I would use it a lot more if it was negative 10. So next up I want to move to Negan. Now, of course, he's a new character. There's a lot of things they can change about him down the track. He's obviously very young in his Tekken life. Just 3 things I want to change is up forward 4. This should low crush, sorry. This actually has no low crush frames at all. So if someone does, like, you know, just a down 4 while you're doing this, you get interrupted. This, I don't think this would change his gameplay at all either. It's just sick to land it. So, you know, this string 2-2-2-2. Now, obviously, you're never going to be using this in neutral because it's just like no one's ever going to get hit by any of them. As soon as they see this, they're going to block. So you're just going to get absolutely punished after that. I think if they get hit by the second hit, the rest should be natural. I think that's fair, because there's not really a delay, so you should be blocking both of them, but if you don't, you get this whole string counter hit, natural and counter hit. Last thing, this is his tracking move. Now I think this should be plus frames, +3, because, I mean, it's super slow already. I've of course got the unblockable version as well. So it's already super slow, but you know, nothing stops them from pressing buttons after it. And I know it is a tracking move, but I think it should be plus frames. It'll just make people not want to step him a lot more. Of course, it is a high as well, so it's not abusable. People can just duck it, but I think it would stop a lot of his, you know, linear moves getting sidestepped, and respect him a little bit more. So Jack. Okay, so yeah, remember this is a wish list, so people are going to think this is OP, but for Jack, what I would like, just 2 simple changes. His down back 1 on hit has a bit of pushback, so it kind of stops your offense. Like that, people can just backdash after this and avoid your while standing 4. I think it should push back less on hit. Obviously, this would mean it'd be like you're at the wall with him, but you know, just low parry it if you think he's going to keep doing it. Yeah, anything low or high, I'm not that, you know, I don't think it's too OP because you can duck him. So yeah, that's my tip for Jack. And the other one was he's up forward 2. This has like terrible range. I think being a plus frame move, they need to just extend the range just a little bit on this one. Look at that. Terrible. Devil Jin only got 1, I don't know. Actually, I had a change for Devil Jin, and that was to change his hell sweep to just get a guaranteed follow-up out of it. But I mean, he wouldn't be the same if he just had that. I mean, I know he's still got the extension of his hell sweep, but I mean, you know, this, I mean, that's still pretty good. Like, if you compare that to, that was 38 damage, and then what's, there you go, 35 damage to 35 damage there, obviously without the follow-up, 38 damage with the one I said. Yeah, alright, I would say they could do that to him, because he's still got this, yeah, 31 damage, and that's guaranteed, instead of, you know, him getting a full combo out of it. I reckon that he'd still be pretty strong. But, you know, like, I want that, but I'm not too fussed if he doesn't get that, because, you know, Hell Sweep is what makes Devil Jin the annoying prick that he is, and he wouldn't be the same without it, really. So I guess we'll call that a sub nerf. I don't really care if they change it at all. So next up we got Gigas. Now obviously this guy needs a shit ton of work, but these are just small changes in neutral that I think would help him out. So obviously you want to open up as many moves as you can with the character and make them viable so you can have a lot of variety. So first of all, forward 2, down 1. It's just like Kings, except there's nothing after it. So it's still negative 13. I think it only should be negative 10. So you can 1-1 to it, that's fine. But just for this little hit and some plus frames, I think it should only be negative 10. Because you're taking the risk of doing the mid instead of the high, and you don't really get much reward for it. So this as well, which this is funny. I actually always thought this was negative 9, this one. It's got a bit of delay. This is actually negative 13 without any delay. So I think this should be negative 9 because you don't really get anything after it. And like, why is it negative 13? Why does he get punished for doing that? So next up I got down 2. See this? Just your regular launcher, 15 frame launcher. Negative 14. Why? Why is it negative 14? It should be negative 13. It's a normal launcher. Aside from this, his sidestep 2, slow as hell. Like, he hardly can use that anyway. And it's negative 12. So you're never ever going to use this. I think it should be negative 9. You should be able to duck after this and do some setups with it. Negative 12, just never going to get used, that move. Next, and I'm sorry about the order of these, but just basically how I went through it. Shaheen. Now, obviously, he's already strong. He's got heaps of stuff to use, and they're all super fast. He's down for 1 tracks. His sneak mix up out of down 3, it's just too good. The only things I would change are 2 things. He's down back 2. This is actually negative 10. So at the end of a round, if you're trying to get the raise drive, like if someone just blocks that, they can just instantly punish you. You know what I mean? And there's no like, you can't go into stance out of it and get out of the punish or anything. So the only thing you can do is down back 2-1. And people are already expecting you at low health to go for the raise drive, so they're going to be ducking after it regardless. So I think this should be negative 9, just so you can bait a bit with it, and just so you know, if they do block it and you don't get the whip punish, you shouldn't get punished for it. Only other thing is while standing 3-3. I know this wall splats, but why is it negative 15? Why is it launch punish? That should 100%. I'll give that 13 frame punish. That's fair. But not 16 or 15, whatever it is. I know it's launch punishable. That's the only 2 things I want to change for him. Armor King. The only thing I want to say about him, I love him. I love his design, everything about it. He just needs a new raise drive. Man, that thing, a lot of people will say there's use in it and that you're just not using it correctly, all that stuff, but I reckon it's trash. What he should have, I reckon, this would be sick. He should have this move that's plus frames. That would look absolutely sick. If that was blue and plus frames, that is awesome. So that, just make it like +5 or something. Done. Perfect raise drive. Alright, brings me to my last person on the list, and someone I love to play. I really think he's awesome, but he's just, I don't know, just needs a bit of work and he'll be perfect. So I already still think he's a good character. I think he's viable. A lot of people complain about him, even me. Lars is trash. So I just think he needs a few things. So maybe give him a mid counter hit launch. So something that does something, maybe if this gave you a crumple stun instead of the attack throw, like that's already sick. Maybe don't take that out, but maybe this would do the same thing, or this, or I don't know, this one, anything just to make him have a mid counter hit safe. This I think should be maybe a bounce stun, so you get a full combo out of that, I think, because, you know, it's just like Leo's. Why does Leo get one and he doesn't get a combo out of it? His wall bounce, why is this negative 10? Should be negative 9. Anything in his stance we know is sidesteppable except for that, and that's not even the same stance, is it? No, it's not. That's the other one. So yeah, you can actually sidestep all this stuff, or sidewalk. So why make that negative 10? Should be negative 9. He's down back 2-1. This move is like Lars's like bread and butter. Everyone has to use this. It's got a great hitbox. You know, it's natural counter, natural combo. All I want is just for this to be -4 instead. Just give me -4 so I can sidestep after it and set up stuff. Because I use it all the time, and then that's pretty much my turnover. You know what I mean? Just want that to be -4. The range on Arc Blasts, I mean, it's very deceptive. Look at that. What the hell is that? Just make it a little bit longer, just so I can launch people when they whip. Anyway. And the last thing is, now obviously with all these changes, he's going to be probably OP, so maybe just give him a few. But this one, yeah, his 14 frame launch, I think it should be semi-hit confirmable. So maybe that one's too far, but you should be able to just semi-hit confirm it. And of course, if you do this one, that can be punishable, because if you're going for it, that's fine, but at least you should be able to hit confirm it on whip. So like that, and then you should be able to press it straight after it. Because if you commit to it, it's launch punishable as well. I know it is a 14 frame launcher, but yeah, I don't think it needs to be launch. Sorry, it can be launch punishable, but yeah, it should be semi-hit confirmable. Alright guys, that about does it for my wish list for Season 3. Let's see if any of them come through. And yeah, I'm super pumped about it. I can't wait. Only a little bit more to go, guys. So yeah, let's stay tuned for that. And tune in for all the videos I make when it is Season 3 time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm sure I'm going to get some backlash for it, but who cares? Anyway guys, take it easy. Peace.